Okay, everyone, not much of an introduction here. We're gonna do the Mandalorian panel. It's coming up now. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want to be doing this today. I kind of wanted to go see Hellboy, but I didn't have anybody who could take me, so I'm stuck here doing this with you guys. So, hope you enjoy, hope I enjoy. This is gonna be the Mandalorian panel.
Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau.
Don't need it. God, I love the Rogue One score. Rogue One score is just people crap on it, but and it's a little repetitive throughout the movie, but there's some pieces of music in there that are just really beautiful.
Good morning,
Kathleen Kennedy must be such a narcissist to go to all these panels. I'm sorry. I like her as a person. I just think that she's not a creative executive. She's a business executive. Filoni, now that's a creative executive right there.
What a weekend this has been, don't you think?
Yeah, it's been great.
I mean, getting here on Friday and being able to show you the new teaser and surprises that I think we all agree. Even I can't wait to see the finished movie, and I know you guys even more so. So very, very excited about that. Saturday, oh my God, walking the floor and seeing all the things that have been created and what you guys do for this celebration is absolutely astounding. So a huge applause for all of you in this room, because it's been, and outside this room, because I know there's a lot of other people watching.
Yeah, I'm right here.
So I want to talk about the two people flanking me here. I've known since I stepped into this job, when George Lucas asked me to take over Lucasfilm, that Jon Favreau was a huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah, man. Nerd. I love that nerd. Yeah, he's the best. Honestly, if I could be in a movie directed by anyone, I think Jon Favreau would be it.
Was going to let us make
Star Wars,
TV
Marvel, just
shows.
everything that I
We were
love.
So excited.
It's pre-Vizsla
And
over
Jon
here.
sat down and
Clan
pitched
Vizsla all the
the
way.
idea of Mandalorian, and it
For
was
Mandalore!
instantaneous. We were so excited that there was an opportunity to bring this to the screen.
And you just know that he loves the Mandalorian culture because he is
And
pre-Vizsla.
I also have a feeling that everybody in this room knows that this guy is a rock star.
Cat in the hat over here. He's looking at Kathleen Kennedy right now. He's gonna have her job someday. He really
what
is.
could be more exciting than Dave Filoni directing live action?
I really want him to be the Kevin Feige of Star Wars, because he has the potential.
So the fact
This
that
is George's
Jon
Padawan
and
right
Dave
here.
have come together and are working together on Mandalorian. I have to tell you, this has been the most fun,
Yeah, this
the
kid-
most
this-
amazing experience, and I'm going to let the two of them.
The energy
to
about
give
that
you a
episode
better idea
9
of
panel
what
was
this show
electric because you were waiting for the
is all
title.
about.
This
And I
this
think
panel's different. I don't know what to
by the
expect with this
end
panel.
Of this discussion, you guys are going to be as excited as I am.
I'm
So,
pretty
I'm
excited.
gonna step
I'm pretty
aside
excited
and
right
let
now.
These guys take the stage.
I love that she's wearing a Mandalorian t-shirt, though. That tells me that she's at least trying.
All right. So here we go. Dave and I. Met
She hears
each
the
other
people
up
like
at
me.
The ranch, which if we feel like you would, if we were working at the ranch, and I was mixing Iron Man.
Yeah, I was making Clone Wars Season 1.
The Lucasfilm Ranch. Wow.
So
The Chewbacca
I
on his
brought him
shirt.
into the Kurosawa stage and showed him. He's the first person ever to see Iron Man.
Are you kidding me? That's awesome. That's awesome.
I was the first person.
To see Clone Wars, you and your son, very first.
Clone Wars movie?
That's what's
Or
fun
Clone
about
Wars
being up
We
TV show?
traded.
Yeah.
We traded.
Yeah, he got the better deal if it was
This
the
is
movie.
Awesome. If you ever need a voice, let me know.
Pre
I
Vizsla.
just happened to need a voice. That day, George had created a character named Pre Vizsla.
Clan Vizsla over here.
Would you like
I mean,
to be
this
a
guy fought
Mandalorian?
Darth
Yes,
Maul with the dark saber. He
Mandalorian's
lost,
my
but
favorite
it was
character.
pretty badass.
Obviously.
Great arc.
I mean, if
Katie
you say
Sackhoff
anything,
in that
you
arc,
wanna-
too.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Just for the helmet.
So, so that's how we. Yes. We got Mandalorian Mercs
Yeah.
over here, right?
So he played Pre Vizsla. Katie Sackhoff played Bo-Katan, who's like his girlfriend slash partner.
Yeah, so we started working together on that.
And that was a great arc on the Clone Wars. It was the Mandalore arc. Darth Maul ends up, spoilers if you haven't seen it, Darth Maul ends up assassinating the Duchess of Mandalore, who just so happens to be Obi-Wan Kenobi's ex-girlfriend.
Of the Empire falling, the Revolution successful, and then what happens?
Now what?
Because if you look throughout history, it's fun at first, but it gets very complicated very quickly. And so the idea of that world of after Return of the Jedi and what would happen and the type of characters that would survive and what it was like until the New Republic took over. And so you have vestiges of the Empire, you have only the strong surviving, you have chaos taking over in the galaxy.
Damn.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Good chaos.
Yeah.
I'm just watching them. I'm watching them like you're every word, and they're just like, I'm enjoying this very much myself personally.
Yeah, I was chatty at first, but now I'm shutting up because
The idea of going back.
tell me more.
There's all sorts of different tones in Star Wars, but I always loved. I was the right age, so when I saw the beginning of the first Star Wars film, and the cantina, and the characters, and the smugglers, and the underworld,
Scum and villainy.
the scum and villainy.
Yeah.
That was
Wretched hive of
to me. That
scum
was
and
a very
villainy.
rich environment to tell a story
Oh,
and
dear.
a rich tone.
Yeah, I mean, and it is, and it's fun. And I've been next year's 15 years working on Star Wars, and I've never seen it run out of stories or ideas. But this area is so unique that we're playing in, and with these type of characters, I'm trying to be very careful not to give anything away. But it is really fun. And just to say Mandalorian, when you came with a Mandalorian idea, I thought, well, that's ironic because you are a Mandalorian. And I thought, so of course you're fulfilling that need to have.
Imagine the
Mandalorian
Mandalorian ends up being like Pre Vizsla's son, and then John Favreau gets to play Pre Vizsla on an episode.
So many little fun things to do.
And getting back to the roots of what inspired George originally, like the old westerns and the samurai films, and getting back to that imagery on a scale that felt like when it began, there was planets that were separated, and each world was different, and it felt like that period of time in history that is so fertile.
I just want to give this
for
guy a
the
high
samurai
five.
Films, back when, around the time of Seven Samurai, where the age of the warrior was just starting to end, or post-Civil War in the Old West, when everything had to be, order had to be brought to the.
Is it wrong that when somebody says Civil War now, especially somebody like John Favreau, I just imagine Captain America and Iron Man fighting in an airport?
It's good. We had a lot of discussions about it in different areas. Holiday specials, that kind of thing.
Yes, the holiday special was the first.
All of that came up.
And the rifle. Could you hold up the rifle, please? Yeah, so there we go.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Holiday special rifle. That's the weapon that the Mandalorian uses.
Bring in elements from, Star Wars.
If you haven't seen the Star Wars Holiday Special,
So many different aspects of it. But the
your
idea
life will
of
never
doing
be the
something
same
that
after
would
you
bring them
watch
all
it, but
together.
I feel like everybody should watch it just to know how bad Star Wars could be.
I was more of a fan of
And how good we actually have it
which
now.
you're
Everything.
turning me on to more and more as we talk.
Everything.
As much as
You're
I
a good
don't
Padawan
love
of the
Solo,
knowledge, John, you're doing really well.
it's better than that Star Wars Holiday
Sequels,
Special.
the Clone Wars, and even pulling stuff in from Legends.
Everything.
Starting to
If you want to know how bad that holiday special is, Carrie Fisher puts words to the Star Wars theme.
So, anyway, should we sit down and maybe
Yeah, let's sit
introduce
down.
some? Let's introduce some.
knows
Pedro
where this will
Pascal.
go.
Pedro Pascal. Pedro
Thank you.
Pascal. I don't know. I just want to
So
do
let's-
justice
well,
to
let's
him
start
when
by
I say his
bringing
name.
out- we have
He's
some
such a
people
cool
who
guy.
made a trip here in the
Pedro
snow
Pascal.
Just to be here
Pedro
for you,
Pascal.
starting with Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. There you go. Pedro Pascal. Red Viper over here. Come on, man. And all right. I'm considering doing a live reaction tonight to Game of Thrones. I love that they're using the Rogue One music, though. It's fitting. Nice. I love it. I love it when they're so happy. This guy's the coolest. I mean, I saw this movie. It was The Equalizer 2. He was in that. I hated the movie. I wouldn't say I hated it. It was a boring movie, but he was cool in it. Even though they kind of had him playing a white guy, really kind of bothered me.
Let's also bring out Gina Carano.
I like Gina Carano. People don't like Gina Carano. I really like Gina Carano. She was in this little movie. It was like a straight-to-DVD movie with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. It was like about a bus or something. The bus or the heist. It was a bus heist, something like that. She was good in that. People always crap on her, and I love. Oh my God, is she Mandalorian too? That's awesome. But yeah, don't crap on Gina Carano because I think she has skills that people don't give her credit for.
You definitely will. Carl Weathers.
Oh my God! Is this Lando's cousin or something? Because, all right, this isn't like I'm not saying that every black person in Star Wars needs to be related. Carl Weathers and Billy D. Williams are cut from the same cloth. They are the smoothest guys ever. They really are. And they're both from like the 70s, 80s era of just cool people. They are cool. Yeah, Carl Weathers is so cool. I mean, on the cool level of Star Wars Celebration this week, Billy D. Williams is number 1, and then Carl Weathers is slightly behind. You son of a
Let's
bitch.
find out a little bit about who they play.
Yes.
Nick Nolte there?
You like
Nick
that?
Nolte is there. I don't know if he's there, but he's in the show too.
Pedro, you are the Mandalorian.
Apparently, Taika Waititi's playing IG-88.
Don, can you hear me?
What is it like to be the Mandalorian?
Well, just look at the
For
image.
Mandalore.
That's what it's like.
Oh my God! Look at that. Oh, his cape.
Right on.
Fantasy fulfillment.
Woo!
It's like,
Anything more? Is that all? Fantasy fulfillment? I know
talk
you're
about
being very
spoiling everything.
careful.
I know. I don't know what I can say and what I can't say.
Oh God, I want to see this show.
What?
For Mandalore.
They'll try to deceive you into telling them.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna say for Mandalore like 5 times.
Let's not give
I think for Mandalore is gonna become Star Wars' version of Wakanda Forever.
We could say he's a bounty
For
hunter and a
Mandalore!
gunfighter.
Yes.
Wakanda
He said, what's it
Forever.
like being the Mandalorian,
Oh, what's it
not
like?
what is the Mandalorian.
Well, I just meant you personally.
I'm gonna make a Mandalorian helmet.
The Mandalorian is a mysterious, lone gunfighter in the
Yeah.
outer reaches.
Is he ever gonna use a sword? I want to see him use a sword.
I would say
You cast Pedro
he's,
Pascal. He has to use some
might
sort of
say he has
sword at some point.
questionable moral character.
What if he comes into possession of the Darksaber? I'm just going wild right now. I'm sorry.
Which is in line with some of our best westerns and
Very good.
some good samurai.
Very great.
You know, all the best, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
And he's a badass. What do you
He is. I don't know.
Uh-oh, we
will
got a
leave
badass
myself
over
to say the
here.
wrong thing for once. So I'm really enjoying this.
I think that these incredibly talented men who also love Star Wars very much have created an incredible, iconic character that I get to play.
Very good.
And now we have Gina Carano, who plays a character, yes. A character named Cara Dune. Cara Dune. Let's tell us a little bit about the character that you play, Gina.
Okay, so nice to see everyone here. I had no idea it was going to be this big, so.
Sorry about that.
I have to say, when I got this job, I instantly was like, oh my gosh, I get to be a part of a whole another family. Like, I feel like certain Italians have embraced me, MMA community embraced me. I'm kind of an actress now, so now I'm a part of this family, and this is absolutely kick-ass, so I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, I like Gina Carano.
So my character's name is Cara Dune, and she's an ex-rebel shock trooper.
Whoa.
I know, not what you were reading online. I was watching all of you. I was like,
Rebel
"Do
shock
they know who
trooper.
I am?" No, they don't. And basically, since it's such a secret thing, I've never been a part of something so secret. I can't tell you that much, but I'm a bit of a loner, which isn't a far stretch. And I'm learning how to have a bit of trouble reintegrating myself into society. So
She's gonna be good.
blessed to work with
Don't
such
sleep on her. I like
people
Gina Carano.
and have such amazing direction, and I don't think I've done a better job than I did on this.
And she's funny,
show,
too.
So I'm really excited.
Well done.
And playing the character of Grief Karga is
Grief Karga.
Carl.
Carl Weathers, smooth mofo over here.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow. Well,
That's
first,
so cool.
I'm really happy to be here. It's like amazing.
God, I
exciting
can't wait for this
all the
show.
things I've been involved in. Oh, I love you too.
I haven't seen Carl Weathers in so long. This is Apollo Creed right here. This is Apollo Creed in Star Wars.
This is insane. Okay. This
He's happy to be
this
there,
group
too.
of fans is just like something out of Star Wars.
He's
actually.
not above this. This is right on his level.
But anyway, the character is Grief Marga.
You don't want
And,
people that are too above
he
Star Wars
is
either.
A guy who is running this group of bounty hunters. He's kind of
Oh
the head
my
of this
God, yes.
guild of bounty hunters. And okay.
This is like the Continental of Star
And, you know,
Wars.
he's a guy who there seems to be a lot of kind of nefarious people, even if they're good people.
This
they're
is what
kind
it
of
sounds like. It
nefarious
sounds like
sides
he's
to
running
it,
the
right?
Continental of Star
So
Wars.
he's looking for someone to go after a product that he wants to bring to a client that's worth a lot and that's very valuable. And guess who he finds? He finds a
Pedro Pascal.
bounty hunter named Mandalorian.
What's his
And,
name,
the
though?
Mando is a guy that he figures can get the job done, so he hires this guy, sends him out there, and the Mando does what needs to be done.
So some of you may have heard that we had put together a little piece of footage for.
He's going to say they haven't.
And we wanted to make sure that all of you got to see what we're up to. So live streamers, there's going to be a little bit of a blackout. coming up, but we'll be
Bull.
back with you in a
That's
few
not
minutes.
fair.
So let's roll some footage.
Half of them groaned. Okay, we're going to do a quick cut here. So obviously I'm a poor person, so I didn't get to fly out to Chicago and see that footage, but whatever. Guess only the privileged get to see it first. It's okay. I'll get back at them. Goes around, comes around.
All right, we're gonna leave and go finish. We gotta finish that.
lot
So
to do.
We gotta get out of here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Oh, I was just reminded, please don't
Well-
video any of that. I was supposed to say it beforehand.
Here's the thing.
You knew that.
They're not gonna
when
show me
Dave
what the
gets
show
nervous,
is.
he
I'll
doodles,
just
and
watch
it's
the
all
show at
really
a friend's house.
excellent
who has the streaming
Doodles of
service. I'm
Star
not gonna
Wars
buy the
stuff.
streaming service for a show I haven't seen yet.
find that interesting.
And obviously, I know
Right,
they're gonna
it's
show a
like
trailer
with
at some
Mandalorian
point.
helmet
It's
right
just
there in
Talking,
perfection.
so that's when I was nervous.
So,
I'll shut up.
No, just kidding.
so you got a glimpse of our great group of directors, and the primary prerequisite that they had to be a fan.
So it seems
of
like they
Star Wars
showed them
and
some
love
sort of
Star
sizzle
Wars.
reel. It doesn't sound like it was a trailer, a
And they
proper
did.
trailer.
And everybody was from a different perspective, different generation, and that's what we want to do here. We love to pull all the stories together. And so for the people who've been fans for 40 years,
I have trust in Jon Favreau. I think he
we
can
got a
do it.
lot in there for you. But these are new characters and new stories, so it's a great way to invite new people in and allow them to get on the merry-go-round here with all these new characters too. So much like we did with Marvel with Iron Man, it's like let's make it something that people could jump in on who don't know anything about Star Wars and enjoy. But if you've been a fan, there's a lot of care that has gone into all the details. So we can't wait to share all of it with you because I think you'll really like what we're doing here. And any reaction? Have you seen that before? Any of you? No, this is the first time. You saw it. Rehearsal. You saw it. Any reaction to that? Are we?
How can you not react to that, John? I mean, come on. You know what's beautiful about it? It's beautiful hearing the fans react to it. Right? Right? I mean, first of all, the fact
This
that
has suddenly gotten
you
kind
came
of
up with
irritating.
this, made it happen, and then you managed to get Dave on team as well. How lucky can we be sitting here to be a part of this? So thank you to
Very
John,
lucky.
to Dave, and thank you to all the fans
We could all
who
be
showed
so
up.
lucky.
And speaking of the fans, so we're making the show, and we're starting to bring in vestiges of the Empire. And we had done some planning.
Vestiges of the Empire.
Stormtroopers, and we
That
had
sounds
our
cool.
production meeting, and we realized after seeing the set we didn't have enough stormtroopers to
Never
make the
can.
impact. We never can have enough.
So you CG'd in a bunch of
And so we're in the
stormtroopers like they did in the
production
prequels?
meeting, and there were only so many stormtrooper uniforms that we had, and we were concerned that it was not going to do the trick for the storytelling. Yeah. And so.
But I know a bunch of stormtroopers.
And so,
Hatched the plan.
we hatched the plan. I'm like, has the 501st ever been actually on camera for?
No.
I know that they've been used by Lucasfilm and they've participated in
Yeah.
events. So talk about how it went down because this is kind of a
It was
cool
an
story.
interesting thing, but I think it was like late on a Thursday, early on a Friday, where we put a call out. We needed a bunch of stormtroopers. And of course, we know people that know people that know people, and we called the stormtroopers, and they're like, "What form?" We're like, "Just come down." And
What form?
they came down a whole bunch, like out of nowhere. And the thing that I know about
Did they bring their own costumes?
about Star Wars fans is that, in all honesty, a lot of the costumes
That's a cool
you guys
picture.
make are even better than what was used on screen at certain points.
So they brought their own
No worry
costumes.
that it would hold up, and it sure held up. And amazingly,
That's
as much
incredible.
as their armor is so accurate. They look like stormtroopers. They act like stormtroopers.
Yes.
That's crazy.
They know.
Because
That's
we were
crazy,
directing
man.
People of how Dave,
That's
how
a way to
did-
get
how
free
did
extras
Soldier,
right
like,
there.
why
You don't have
did
to
they
pay
know
for
what
their
to do? And
costumes.
they knew what to do with
They
this
knew what
group
to
showed
do.
up. But what was so funny is how surprised some of them looked because I didn't realize they weren't told what it was for.
Yes.
For Mandalore!
Oh, yes.
So what did they assume? What do you usually use the 501st
It
for?
could be any number of events where we need stormtroopers, which Lucasfilm does a lot. And, you know, it's some kind of a
Every time I see that
function,
group
we
of
have a-
stormtroopers, I think of the
panel or
LucasArts
something
logo
like
where the
this, a
stormtroopers were
celebration.
dancing.
It's not normally you show up on a planet where there's a Mandalorian and you get involved with that. That was good. And then we realized too, everything we rolled out in front of them was like almost a test audience.
Sorry.
Yes.
And we would sit there and watch as something rolled out. We're like, oh, they seem to like that. So that was fascinating.
And they were so polite and so nice and kept
Nicest
all the secrets.
stormtroopers,
It was
yeah.
great. It was so much fun. So that was one. And now that we took that picture, we said they couldn't have it, but now we could get them copies.
They could
of
get
that
the copy.
picture.
And you guys met the stormtroopers. What did you guys
Burn
think
it.
of the many stormtroopers you met?
Well, I was just surprised that they all made their own uniforms
Yeah.
and they were all so spot on. And it was, at first I didn't even know. I was like, oh, okay, hired actors. And they're like, no, these people are legit. I'm like, oh, shit.
These are real stormtroopers over here.
And what was really crazy about it was
I really like Gina.
they worked really hard. I mean, they didn't mess around.
All day.
They were on point the entire time they were there each day. So it was so cool. And I wound up learning stuff from watching these guys and women, by the way. And it was
That's
just,
right.
it was beyond cool.
I think the interesting thing too is that, like, as a fan, one of the things you always want, the dream for me was if you could have something screen used. But the minute they left that day, all their armor was screen used. So that was pretty cool. Too.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like
It's now they can sell it.
So we were part of what we did. It's the first time we ever have filmed Star Wars in Los Angeles, and I think even in the United States. And so part
Really?
of what made that possible was a lot of new cutting-edge technology using stuff that I've learned from.
See, Jon
Iron Man,
Favreau is one of those
Jungle Book,
guys that I feel like he's
lying
carrying the torch of
about
George Lucas, where he likes to progress the technology
using all
forward.
this new cutting-edge game engine technology, video walls, VR for planning. But Star Wars at its core has to feel handmade and like a practical show. And so we have a lot of audio animatronics and puppetry, all the techniques that were used from the beginning. And so what was interesting was when we were starting to plan the name of the ship is the Razor Crest that the
Nice.
Mandalorian flies around in.
Razor Crest.
And it's this really cool. I think you saw some pictures of it in that reel. It's sort of like a reflective.
I didn't get to
silver,
see it.
Old Army surplus gunship. And then I started saying, well, maybe we should just make a miniature just for lighting reference.
Yes, please.
My
That's the
desk.
best
I
way to
wanted
do
a-
CGIs, to create a
Trick I
miniature.
learned from Guillermo del Toro.
That's
Make
really
sure you
the
build
best way to do
practical props.
CGI.
That way you could have it for your
Yeah.
house later. Because he's got nothing from Clone Wars.
That's why the CGI in like the special
True.
edition
I
works
mean, I can
really
3D
well
print
because
something, I can 3D
they
print.
have
I many
actual props
friends.
to work off
The
of.
most valuable thing in the galaxy. So there's that.
But you can't hang a QuickTime up in your office.
Not easily.
Right. Well, then we started to talk about, well, maybe let's try to do a shot with a miniature like they used to do with the motion control rig. And then you're not the only Star Wars fans. Up at ILM, there's a lot of Star Wars fans too, and people started coming out of the woodwork when they heard that we were doing this. And why don't you want to talk about what
building
happened?
a model? What do you mean they're building a model? We'd be in meetings, we'd be discussing it, and then you'd look at the meeting, because I'd be down.
It's easier than ever to build models now, too.
And we'd look at on the camera and we'd see like more people in the meeting than normal.
Playa Vista.
Playa Vista, yeah. And then we would see like, there's Hal Hickles in the meeting now, and John Knowles sitting in the meeting now, and what are they interested in? And we start to talk about the process of building a model, and there was a lot
I'm very
of
excited
interest
about this.
that. And then we started hearing that John's making something in his garage.
Especially when you're in a show
Yeah.
with the budget.
just
It's a big
hard
budget for a
to
TV
talk
show, but
about
it's still
that.
limited
It's
CGI.
like the Star Wars club at a high school.
Yeah,
We're all,
it really was.
and so we, up at ILM, they shot some behind-the-scenes footage of what's going on up there, and we'll just kind of talk you through it. Do you want to roll that? This is something you can, not as secret.
Because you have to see it. To
Yeah, you can
believe
see
it.
this. So we'll roll this while we're in here. Maybe we'll dim the lights a little bit. And this is just something they
fun
put
thing.
together and sent. We figured we'd show it to you. So here's, you want to talk them
Yeah,
through
that
it?
is Doug Chang and Ryan Church designing the Razor Crest. And, we do have some CG models that we'll do, but like John said, it's a part of a process.
I like
You
that
can
ship.
See what there's
Here's
the one
a
for your
model.
desk that we
Look at
talked
that.
about earlier. There's Landis 3D printing pieces. So we were able to 3D print, but those pieces are based on kit bashing. And it's John Goodson who's built
Kit
many
bashing.
models for ILM.
Kevin's
over the years,
gonna
and
like
he's
that.
Actually building the physical Razor Crest, old school, doing the LEDs for the engines. Yeah.
That's
and I
awesome.
think this is John in his garage tooling the motion control device, because who can't do that in their garage? And
I can't.
There's what they built in their garages, literally in their garage studios.
It's awesome.
The ILM guys built. Look, John's laughing because he knows it's ridiculous. And
It's not ridiculous.
building
It's
this
awesome.
Model, oh, look there.
You got spray paint there.
I'm not going to debate you. And look there. He's like a lens crafter making these pieces. All him and Hal Hickel. Hal actually went and researched all 3 of the old Star Wars films and figured out all the flight paths and the types of shots that they did.
And the way the star
That's an
fields
awesome
would
ship.
shift and move, and so here's us shooting passes on the stage. So here's how you get the key, and you'll see this is done. Isn't that cool?
It already feels like Luke's X-Wing, right?
That's awesome.
Right?
And so they're letting us do this for some reason because
Because
whenever
it's
I work
cool.
on something, they're always like, you can't shoot a model. There's the key. And instead of doing it
Trying to
as
figure out where I've seen a ship
as
like that
optical
before.
printed, we're using digital. But you can see the room there, and it really reminds us of the old behind-the-scenes footage. It's just fun for us.
Yeah, they're all down in the basement.
Said it was like a
shooting
gunship
violin,
of some type, but I'm trying
and they're all
to figure out
gathered around
specifically
and evidently having
which property I saw it in.
It's really funny.
And here come the engine passes.
Yeah,
here,
you can see the off on the
coming
side.
up. They have to do for each lighting setup, and they comp it together. And hold on, there's a couple more. These are
It's a long process.
it's fun for us. We like it.
This is
Oh, there
what
we
we
go. Here
really
come
do.
here come the engine.
I know, right?
Oh, come on.
That's the better one.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's so cool. So anyway, we're putting all that together, and we're having a really good time.
This is really cool.
Most people won't even know, but we knew you'd appreciate that, so we showed you.
Exactly.
Let's see. Is there any?
I'm gonna be looking for those shots in the show now.
Twitter questions that came in.
Yeah, we can
right?
do that.
We were asked to submit questions for us from Twitter, and we're gonna read some up on the board here. You could flash them. Let's see. Indiana Jedi, is that it? At Indiana Jedi. Did you guys ever discuss Mandalorian history while working on the Clone Wars together? Yes.
Yes.
I did a lot.
Quite a bit.
You wanna-
In fact, there was some Mandalorian history created, quite a bit on Clone Wars, but around your character, we used to have Pre Vizsla fighting with a vibroblade weapon in Clone Wars, and when George saw it, he said no. A
Darksaber.
lightsaber would cut
Yeah.
that thing right in half. And I said, oh, that's a problem because we've already staged the whole thing. And he's like, well, we'll have to figure something out. And then he called me later that day because he'd been dwelling on it so much and said, I've created something. It's called the Darksaber, and we're going to give it to Pre Vizsla. And so you got this
I got to
really
wield the
cool
Darksaber
weapon and
in
this really
Clone
long
Wars.
speech.
And I had to do a whole speech about how I found it in a Jedi temple and all this stuff. It was super cool. So we had talked a lot about the Jedi history, Jedi and Mandalorian history, and also where are the Mandalorians during the original trilogy, and even in the prequels. So we had a lot of conversations, and so now we're coloring in the missing tiles there.
Yeah.
So we talked about that a lot, and it's fun. They're a fun group. Next question.
What is this?
John, who did you look for? Who did you look to for guidance when creating the series? Well, I mean, first and foremost, Dave, because he was my Sherpa, and I get very excited when after I pitched to Kathy, and I've been talking to Kathy for many years about doing a story, and I started writing them, and by the time before I even had a deal
This is
done,
very
I had
exciting.
written,
He
because I wanted
he
to make
has
sure that
this.
They wanted to make the same show I did. Because what I didn't want to do is get into a situation where we had different ideas and I didn't want to be developing. I would rather write it and them not buy it. And I would show them to Dave.
Yes.
Because we had been paired up.
Sadly, though.
It was a little sad. What you wanted
Over Christmas.
He said the saddest thing was I saw one of your scripts came in, the date was Christmas on the
The
bottom.
25th is when he wrote it. And I thought, wow, you're really not doing anything. Staying at home and writing.
I think
this.
that's
And then
he wrote
I
this
was,
story that he
you know,
never
it's
knew was going to
Christmas,
be told.
Time to take off. So it'd been like 2 days. I saw the email. I'm like, cool, I'll get around to that. And 2 days had gone by. I get a text. He's like, I've knit socks faster than you've read this script. And he sent me a photo of him wearing Boba Fett socks. And I was like, Okay, I'll read the script.
But, you know, I don't
and
know.
I really enjoyed it.
It was
really enjoyed it.
When you, for me, writing doesn't come easily. So when I'm on a tear and I could go, I just go at it.
Yes.
I don't stop till the ideas stop. And so I was having a great time writing this.
Cool.
And then eventually we started.
Wish I was
collaborating
that
more.
cool.
Dave wrote one of them.
I did.
And
We'll see how that goes.
So, and also George, by the way, George came by.
He came by the set, yes.
Yeah, George Lucas.
He did.
He visited because, of course, you know, he and Dave go way back, and
We do, a little bit.
Why back?
very interesting watching the two of them talk about, because George would throw out some historical facts, and Dave would remind him that maybe he remembers a different account of certain things, and it's watching two. It was very interesting.
I am the Padawan to this day, but it was a huge thrill for me to have him there because I don't think I ever would have considered doing live action without his teachings and his guidance. He really got me interested in it. And so when he came by, that was a real thrill for me personally.
He was extremely proud when I was talking to George without Dave there because they had been working together for so long, and Dave was just starting out in that position and had really grown as a storyteller and writer, and really had absorbed all those lessons. And then to even have George, who really I started my curiosity about Joseph Campbell and the writer's, you know, the hero's journey and the monomyth through watching his films and the power of myth with Joseph Campbell shot at the Skywalker Ranch when I was young. It would really influence me tremendously. And to be able to talk with George about these things, and he's really an expert in such matters. And so it was great to hear it right from him. And so it just felt really good and fun, and like it was about the human connection too, and learning not just about what makes a show good, but life lessons. And it's been really nice also being able to work with, as I've been learning from him, for me to try to teach him what I've learned in live action, and us coming together has been a really wonderful partnership. And Kathy was really smart and thoughtful to get us together, because I don't think this show would have been nearly what it is without our collaboration. So thank you.
Thank you. Fun. See, I bet you guys didn't know a lot of that, did you? This is all behind the scenes as well for you.
Just taking it all in.
Taking it all in. Can you believe it?
No, barely.
Well,
Let's see if
when
there's
you
one
guys
for them.
came down, it really definitely trickled down, all that passion. There's a bunch of times Jon Favreau would come to set, and before a scene, like, he would literally well up with tears and explaining how much this scene meant, and it just trickled in. All this passion has trickled down into, you really felt like you were a part of something special. Everybody from lighting to, production to everybody in every department. We'd be there for 17-hour days sometimes, right, girl? And we just like look at each other and we're like, yeah, but we're working on Star Wars right now, so you want to keep us longer? Because this is worth it. And it just had magic, yeah, had a lot of magic. And believe me, it's moving forward, like, that's all I want to work on is people, big or small, people who are passionate about what they're doing, and these guys are the most passionate. There's so much heart, and then we go to Dave, and I'd be like, yo, what's up with this blaster? What do we do here? And like, he would just be like, well, and he'd give me a whole history. It was like having like the encyclopedia of Star Wars right there. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Is this okay? Is this, it was just kind of like, it was incredible. So it felt like magic. Thank you.
The only person who wasn't having fun was Gina's stunt double. Because they didn't get to work at all.
Yeah,
Very little.
I was gonna say.
Gina is a gamer.
She's a very physical
Gina
actress.
Would be doing stuff. I would. So how it usually would go down is, I do a lot of writing. I would come down to the set and we would plan it. We would do rehearsal. We would shoot the master. At a certain point, I have to leave for a few hours to do visual effects approvals and animation for Lion King, which is still working at the same time as this. And then I would come back for coverage, finish the day up, and the directors would be on set, and I'd show up,
Watched The Lion King last night. Not his, the animated Lion King. Still holds up.
And Gina would be jumping off of a counter and flopping on her back. I'm like, what's going on here? You can't let, these are our stars.
Try to stop him.
You can't do this. But they were, both of them, I mean, I think it's the physicality in that that makes it, it comes across on the screen. And I remember Gina there's a part where she has to carry off a wounded character and lifted them up and dragged them off the battlefield. And I was
and
like,
everybody kept on coming up to me and they're like, oh, did they put a dummy in there? Like, is it like a fake? And I'm like, no, this is a whole human that I am. And they're like, and another one, and now we're going in close. And I'm like, again? Okay. I've been doing my squats, so this is good.
and as you know, she's good with her hands too when you get in close range, and that was really fun. What other works did you take inspiration from when making the show? Talked about it, the old westerns. We looked at a lot of old western samurai movies. Anything else, Dave, that we?
It was the main, I mean, besides you and the holiday special.
The holiday special. And what was the other one? Caravan of Courage, too, we looked at.
Yes. Yeah.
Caravan of Courage.
That came out of nowhere.
More like Caravan of Garbage.
Who did you draw, Pedro, who did you draw inspiration from for the character, the Mandalorian? We've talked about this a bit.
He's got a lot of Clint Eastwood in him. and to be honest with you, I called John directly and was like, what do you want me to watch? What do you want me to absorb? What do you want me to take in for this? And it was a lot of Sergio Leone, Akira Kurosawa. Very highbrow. And it was an incredible thing because just to give my little tidbit, when John asked me to come and meet with him about something Star Wars, literally something Star Wars, and they invited me into the room, and Dave was there, and it was wall-to-wall story illustrations of this series. You wouldn't believe what I was seeing. I was born in '75, so I am a product of a Star Wars imagination. I was shaped by these movies, and I'm seeing all of this, and I'm like, what do you want me to do? Who am I gonna, who do you want me to audition for? The bug? Or the robot? And he's like, you're the Mandalorian.
Oh, nice. That was so genuine.
So you,
in terms of inspiration, I was like, John, what do you want me to read? What do you want to watch? What do you want?
He would have been a stormtrooper. They asked him.
it's been great. You all have, are there any other, in what way is The Mandalorian going to be different from anything we've seen so far in Star Wars? Dave, you want to?
It's on TV.
That's a tricky one.
Or
where
not.
I could go wrong and say
Some
the wrong
TVs.
thing. Give you too much
Honestly, I want to buy a movie theater if I had the money. I don't have
It's
the money.
gonna- I mean,
There is a
it's-
movie
it's
theater for
going
sale
to be
around me.
different in
But I would buy a
Star
movie
and
theater just so I could watch The Mandalorian on the big screen.
I think
We've never
I think
seen
that's
that. The
acceptable.
first
If you want to chip in to buy me a movie theater,
that's right,
please
first
feel
live
free.
action.
Your notes.
Not the first television, as we've mentioned, there was
Yeah.
a Caravan of
Yeah.
Once I get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to start a Patreon, but I'm going to wait
Got
until
that
then.
going for us.
We were going to do that.
Take over.
You do it.
Right now, I'm just kind of doing this for
Thank
fun.
you.
How is it different from what we've seen in Star Wars? It's the very first live-action Star Wars series to ever exist.
Yes.
Nailed it.
From a certain point of view.
It's no cartoon. It's no holiday special.
Oh, burn.
Careful.
Burn.
Careful.
Burn.
Interesting.
Boba Fett started as a cartoon character.
Dun, 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 dun.
Interesting.
Now listen, you all got those tickets, right? You still have them?
I don't have
Can you put
anything.
up on the screen what the giveaway that they're going to get when they go to the place?
What
There
they're
we
gonna
go.
get
It's a
and what
new
I'm not gonna
poster.
get?
There it is.
Cool poster.
You get one.
It's very depressing. I want to be
So,
there.
We've been live streaming this, and let's take this opportunity to say goodbye to everybody who's been joining us live stream. Thank you so much, everybody. Look out for The Mandalorian coming
Bye.
to Disney Plus.
Plus,
Disney Plus.
Thanks for giving me
November
something to
12th.
do.
I think so.
November 12th. Thank you, everybody watching at home.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, everybody. So that was it. That was the Mandalorian panel review, and recap, and watching it, and all the commentary, and everything that you come here for. Yeah, if you watch this, thanks. I mean, I like doing these long form commentaries, reviews. Might do it for Game of Thrones tonight. Obviously I can't do it in this format just because showing the episode, they'd get like a copyright flag, and then my channel would be gone. So I'll have like sync points for that. So yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll do something cool. But thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please share. I'm trying to get this off the ground here. I spent a lot of time in this closet, and that's what I'm gonna be doing in here. So when I'm bored, I'm just gonna try to come on here and try to create some sort of content. If you guys have suggestions on what I can do, movies I can review, I'll review old movies, I'll review new movies. If I can get to the movie theater, I wanted to review Hellboy this weekend, but I didn't have a chance to get there. I actually want to give a special thanks, and I'll put the link in my description. There's a podcast called The Afternoons with Josh and Ken. It's Josh McCouga and Ken Knapsack from Collider Videos, Schmoes Know, Josh McCouga Show, Daily Thrones, Ken Knapsack. All this stuff that they do. Follow them. Follow Ken Knapsack on YouTube. Follow Josh McCouga on YouTube. And then follow them on The Afternoon, Stitcher, Anchor, it's not on Podomatic anymore. Anchor, Stitcher. They got their podcast there. They were nice enough to share a plug for this channel this week on their show. And I just wanted to thank them. I really appreciate it. People like them is why I started doing stuff like this, and I think they're funny guys. Go listen to their podcast. It's a lot better than this. So yeah, this is the Mandalorian review thing, and yeah, whatever. It's Sunday. Go have fun.